seen the lights. First flight racing, congratulations.
Oh, Magic Millions is like nothing else. This is where our dreams begin. We bought a horse for $20,000 here 2 years ago, and he's in a $2 million race on Saturday.
Well, of course, it's the horses and the racing that make it an amazing week, but you can't go past the social side of it. The Gold Coast really turns it on in Magic Millions week, and there's nowhere I should rather be.
Magic Millions Sales so special. It's all about the horse flesh here. It's the best, and just the excitement of the option and being in the auditorium and just hearing your name called out when the hammer goes down and you get the horse you want.
First light. Thank you, first light.
First light racing.
You've seen the lights.
Thank you, Ash, and thank you for everyone who's joined us tonight for our 2022 Magic Millions review / webinar. Ash, welcome to the webinar. We might just chat for a couple of minutes before we get involved, let any straddlers join the webinar. But firstly, gee, you looked a bit fresher in that video than you looked 2 weeks after the Magic Millions, or 2 weeks since we shot it. The Gold Coast got the better of everyone.
Yeah, it did. You've already done your little stint on isolation, and now it's passed on to me. So that's all right. When we could be worse off. Still here on the Gold Coast. The weather's not quite as pleasant as what it was a week ago. We had a beautiful week there at the complex. Beautiful weather and found some beautiful horses. So I look forward to talking about them.
Lovely. Thanks again for everyone who joined us tonight. We're a man down. Belinda Myers, well and truly under the weather and taking some time off. So Ash, you're pulling the strings tonight, not just to impart your wisdom on us, but manage the logistics of the webinar as well. So bear with us if it gets a bit slow at times, guys. We're only going to be half an hour or so tonight. There's a little chat box down the bottom. If you would like to ask a question, particularly of Ashley at any time tonight, feel free to pop open the chat box and go from there. I'll vet the questions in case they're not appropriate, but I'm sure they're all going to be terrific questions. And as we dive into things tonight, Ash, I suppose explain to everyone what we're going to try to achieve tonight. You're going to break the webinar into two parts. Firstly, your vision, and then secondly, you're going to talk about the yearlings.
Yeah, spot on. We'll talk about our process going into the sale and what we set out to achieve. And obviously the 6 new additions to our class of 2022. We had a very strict processes going into the sale. We came, we saw, we conquered, and set out what we plan to achieve, which is exciting. And yeah, we're excited to welcome what we've got to our owners and introduce you all to them tonight. Terrific.
That's 6:04 Victorian time by my watch, Ash. So I think it's time to get stuck into it. So for those of you, again, thanks for joining us. So what we're going to do tonight, first and foremost, is talk about our strategy. But before we get to the yearlings we bought, we really want to share insight into how we came about sourcing 6 yearlings to wear the blue and gold, Ash. Those that are at the sales, those that will watch it from afar will have seen there's 1,000 horses go through the ring. There's probably upwards of 200 to 300 buyers. So explain to those tonight and those that will watch this in the future, what sets First Light apart? How do we approach this differently to everyone else? Everyone else will have seen photos and videos of yearlings since the sale and heard it's a cracking type and hopefully back in the race next year. What was your strategy? What kind of what were your non-negotiables as you set out to find the future stars? Yeah, well, so before I sort of narrow it down to what we, the 3 factors that we really focused on the sale. Tim, you and I sat down before the sale and we invested a lot of time in researching what we thought worked really well to make the Magic Millions a success, not just for FLR, but, the leading purchases from the sale. And we found some really interesting statistics, Tim, and I'm just going to reel off a few of them for everyone now. So until most of you would have heard of a good horse called Profondo, son of Deep Impact. He topped the sale
a couple of years ago. No sale topper of it has actually gone on to win a Group 1 out of Magic Millions for the last 5 or 6 years. And there's been only 2 $1 million plus horses come out of this sale to win a Group 1 in that time frame as well. That would be Profondo, who we spoke about, and King's Legacy. We won obviously a very good, talented horse in Sydney there, but I can probably count on one hand how many others at a fall of hammer price of over 500k that have gone on to win a Group 1 in the last 6 years. So that's one interesting stat. We see a lot of money being thrown around at this sale. There's $1 million lots everywhere. The leading sire of the sale was I Am Invincible. Again, another interesting stat from the sale is there's been $12 million plus I'm Invincibles come out of this sale. Not one of them has won a Group 1. The best of them is a mare called Invincibella. She cost 185k. So that's another interesting point of view to come out of the sale. There were 7 runners, Tim, in the 2-year-old race on Saturday that cost less than 30k. We go through the catalogue in depth before we even touch the ground there at the Gold Coast. There's a lot of first foals out of good mares, but they're first foals that are unproven, out of unproven mares. There's a lot of hype around those first season stallions as well. We saw this year the Justifiers, the Autumn Sun, very high averages to get stuck into them, but look, they haven't had runners on the ground yet. They're not yet proven. So yeah, we always look at them. And we'll always, if we love them enough, we'll certainly be interested to add them to our team at a certain price. But look, our strategy, looking at the statistics coming out of this sale and what's worked well for us, Tim, over the years, is to target those proven sires out of proven female families, and obviously finding good value for money. Everyone at this sale seems to be gravitating towards the same horse. We all want those early types that are going to get up and race at that one race day in January, which is the Magic Millions race day. And don't get me wrong, it's a great race day. There's amazing opportunities to be won on that day. There's 2 $2 million races in the 2-year-old and the 3-year-old. But something you said to me before, if you're looking outside of that race day, there's 72 other $1 million races Australia-wide outside of Magic Millions. So it's not always about the Magic Millions race day. Obviously, it's a great incentive to be part of, and the opportunities are now expanded with the $1 million syndicators race, Tim, and the debutante. The opportunities are now opening up, but we've got to look outside of that and remember that we're buying horses for the future, not just for Magic Millions Day. We want these horses for the long term. So our process going into the sale, we narrowed it down to what we call 3 pillars of success, and that is proven size out of proven female families and finding that good value for money out of this sale. So that was our strategy going into the sale, Tim, and I think we achieved that with the 6 we brought home.
Yeah, I'm interested to know what value for money means, Ash, but you look much more youthful than me. You and I have actually been doing this together for about 12 years, and we were here when Seapoy had his first crop of yearlings at the Magic Millions. They paid up to 1.6 million for him. They averaged about 450,000. We've seen them all, Ash, the Dissidents, the Wanjaners, these new sires. Look, some of them work, most don't. And as we always say to each other, some other idiot can find out. We're happy to come late to the party. Whether it's, you look at the best horses we've had, Aristia's by LONHRO, proven. Rich Hips is by Written Tycoon, proven. We've had great luck with the Savabills, even going further into Written Tycoon. The horses like Blushing Tycoon, Rightio Pal. I think the recipe of success for us has been going with what is proven. There's a lot of hype. The sun's hot. Ash, people aren't making the best decisions. But tell me a bit about, the other thing I really took away from you as you approach this sale was everyone wants to buy that horse for next year. Everyone wants that August foal. There is this race to breed them as young as they can possibly be. But the stats tell you that's not the way to go.
It's not always the way to go, that's for sure. As we saw Coolangatta, who won the $2 million 2-year-old race on. So she was a $280,000 yearling. So she was bought below the average last year. She was a little bit backward. So, that obviously brought her price down. Looking at her pedigree, she had a beautiful page behind her, but she was a second foal out of a good family. But most importantly, she was a late October foal, Tim. So a lot of people looked at her and thought she's not going to get back here in 12 months' time. But look at what she's done, and we've seen it time and time again. Animo, the best 3-year-old in Australia, and obviously he was up and going really early in his 2-year-old season as well. He was a November foal, so. Look, if you're going to target those August foals, it's always great to have them in the system, but they need to look like an August foal at that sale. You don't want them looking big and with a lot of scope still to come that they're going to grow into. They're going to take time. They're going to, grow into big horses that'll have issues down the track. So you've got to keep in mind what's ahead and what's not in front of you right there and then.
Yeah, I think the thing for me about these October and November foals, Ash, is you can't hide from it. So it's written right there on the pedigree, their date of birth. You can't dress an October foal up as an August foal. So vendors don't. They always say to us when they bring out a horse, it's still a little bit immature, it's got scope and development to come. Oh, bear in mind it's an October foal. Bear in mind it's a November foal. I love seeing it because I know that they haven't been pushed along. If you are an August foal and you're going to Magic Millions, you need to look like an August foal. You need to look like you are going to the races tomorrow. You're on the stronger feed. You've done more work. And at the end of the day, these horses are way too young and immature to being pushed along at a young age. So I kind of look at the market and go, well, if you're an October, November foal, you get treated right. If you're an August foal, it's hurry, 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 hurry. We've got to have you ready to look $1 million at the Magic Millions. They're the ones that make the huge money. And you just told me then that $1 million horses don't win the Magic Millions. So I think your pillars for success were bang on. Of course I did. We approached the sale with that analysis and that mindset in mind. So we're going to roll now into the 6 yearlings that we added to the team. Ash, there is, of course, some that we do expect to get up and go early. But I think you've done an outstanding job of buying high-quality athletes. You talked about later foals. LONHRO was a later foal. So You Think was a later foal. Some of my absolute heroes of the turf were, Ash. So can't wait to find the next one. Who are you going to kick it off with?
All right, just bear with me, guys, while I bring up a video for you all to see while Tim and I chat about the first horse we got on the list, and that's, of course, look, she was our sale topper of the sale, Tim. She's the Not a Single Doubt Belle Q filly. She's, of course,
Nat, what a day it's been here at the Magic Millions. 3 stars.
Drop that sound down so you can hear us speak, but you should all be able to view this video right now. But Tim, she was the filly for us of the sale. She's, of course, the full sister to Cusack, who Trent and Natalie both trained to win the Ballarat 2-year-old Magic Millions Classic on debut. And he ran in the 2-year-old race on Saturday. Obviously, it didn't go to plan for him, but look, he's already put some value into this filly's pedigree, and putting the female pedigree aside, she's by Not a Single Doubt. It's his final crop ever that we'll ever get a chance to get our hands on. So to get a filly that's now a full sister to a restricted listed Magic Millions 2-year-old Ballarat Classic winner who can go on to win really good races as going on into his career. I think she was a really great buy, and it's easy to see what we love about her. She's a really well-grown filly. She's not small. She's really got great body and size about her. She's got the real Not a Single Doubt stamp to her with the white blaze and deep chest and strong hind quarter, and she looks like she'll get up and run just like her brother, and that'll be the aim for her. She looks that type. She is an earlier foal, so she does look that type that looks the right size now, that she's going to be forward enough for us to really target those early races with her. So she's a valuable commodity, Tim, being a daughter of Not a Single Doubt, and it's a pedigree that's got a lot of scope that'll only continue to improve. So she's going to hold her residual value well going forward into her career.
Yeah, look, as you bring up the pedigree of her, Ash, she's obviously our dearest horse out of the sale, but you're happy to pay her money for a filly that looks like this, but with the pedigree like this. So you and I sat there and listened to 1,000 horses go through the ring last week, Ash, and the auctioneers knocking on the table going, look at this is a real Magic Millions family. So I think that's the key message with this filly. She's going to produce, she's from a Magic Millions family. She's a full sister to the Ballarat Magic Millions winner. Whatever she does on the track, of course, Ash, she'll go on and produce high-quality foals that'll just march back into this sale ring year after year after year. So she's going to be a red-hot commodity at the end of her career. So when you go and pay more money, you want to have that underlying residual value, Ash, which I think she's got. She's a gorgeous filly, but she's also off a terrific young farm. So you're the judge of the horse flesh. I don't try and step out of my lane. I think you're one of the best in the business. But what I love doing, Ash, is buying off a farm that breeds winners. Now, you and I went to the Hunter Valley last year, out to Fernrig Farm. Ray Louise and Patrick run that farm. They sold the 2021 Magic Millions winner in Shakiro, and they sold the 2021 Ballarat Magic Millions winner in Cusack. So what does it mean to buy off a farm that's producing winners?
I think it's really important to know where they're coming from, how they've been raised, sort of where they've been raised too, the grass that down to the grass that's grown in the soil of the property. You know, it's really important, and results speak for themselves. You just mentioned there that Fernrig, they're a young farm, but the results they've got already in a short time frame goes to show that they are raising their horses the right way. They're producing them the right way to get to this sale. They're not overdone. They you know, been prepped the right way to present exactly how you want them to be the very first sale of the year. So Shakiro, the Magic Millions winner a few years back, and Cusack, that's unbelievable results in such a short time period. So I think it's really important to know where they're coming from and know that they've been well raised and well prepared, and it sets them up well going forward, and it makes our our trainers' job easier as well. When they get their hands on them, the breakers, when they're well educated coming into this sale, it makes everyone's job easier, and it just helps to get them there a bit quicker.
I love it. Like she's out of the Street Hero mare who's by Street Cry. So you've highlighted there. It's the cross that produced Farnan. Street Cry, obviously the sire of Winks, the greatest ever, but now he's doing the job in the barn. So obviously Liar and Farnan, they won the Blue Diamond and the Golden Slipper in the same year. They're both out of Street Cry mares. So it's a great cross. It's a cross that works. It's a great farm. She's a filly with residual. $25,255, Ash, for a 5% share in her. I would happily call her an investment, and you've got 10% left. So I'm delighted the farms actually come back and kept 10% themselves. It's a great endorsement for the quality of product that they produce. They want to get back there and win the race next year with us, Ash. So a great way to start. Where do we go from here?
All right, we'll go on from one Not a Single Doubt to the next. And he's, of course, the colt. Obviously a daughter of his, and we've bought a son of Not a Single Doubt as well. So look, the stallion averaged $575K at the sale. To get both of these under that average was, I think, really great buying. But this colt, he's a beautiful colt. He's got plenty of size, plenty of strength, plenty of substance. Trent and Nat loved him. Trent wrote he didn't write any words on his page. All he wrote was tick, tick, tick. So they both loved him as much as I did. So he has quite a bit of, I call him quite an imposing colt. Looking at him here, he's really well grown. So he's an August foal, and he looks like an August foal. He's not going to get much bigger than what he is now. He looks quite set, so he looks like he's going to come to hand reasonably quick. And he's a 3/4 brother to a very good 2-year-old in SNITZEL. She was a stakes winning 2-year-old. She won the Inglis Banner, and you can see here what a beautiful mover he is. Probably the three things I loved about him was the way he moved for his size. He had a lot of size and strength. He had a good backhand on him, really strong hocks on him too, which should propel him forward, hopefully very quickly. So he's a lovely colt, and to get him for the price we did, for the pedigree we got him for as well. I think he's really good buying. Great to have a son of Not a Single Doubt in the stable with a pedigree. And from it, we spoke before about how important it is to buy off good farms. He's from the best of them. Arrowfield stud, they can't do no wrong. There'll be a Group 1 winner come out of this off this farm every year out of this sale. So as we know, Tagaloa, Trent and Natalie bought from Arrowfield as well for a similar price as well. So hopefully he's the next Tagaloa.
Yeah, absolutely. Arrowfield's my favourite draft to buy off, Ash. Like they stand, obviously Not a Single Doubt. They stand some of the best selling. So they know what the best ones look like, and they know which horses to bring to Magic Millions. If you're going to buy an August foal, you buy Not a Single Doubt. Like it's not complicated. As you bring the pedigree now up on screen, Ash, it's not complicated. This mare has already produced a horse that was placed in the Blue Diamond Prelude and Preview. He also was placed, he won the Inglis Banner, which is the first 2-year-old race on Cox Plate Day each year. So I like buying a mare that can do the job. Like you and I talk about it. We come to the broodmare sales every year, Ash, and there's mares that have had 1, 2, 3 foals. They can't run. They've sold all these yearlings for 500,000. and they sell the mare for peanuts, and the mare's gone, and you're the sucker that got sucked into buying the unproven foal out of the unproven mare. This for me is the pedigree you buy. This is a stallion's pedigree. Like I said, a 3/4 brother to Azazel. You see the horse before you. You've listed a few up the top there to make life easier for me. Ash, Tagaloa, Profondo, Atotsu. They just sell stallions. They don't just sell Group 1 winning colts, this farm. They sell stallions, and this is a stallion prospect.
Yeah, absolutely. The cross works. Linamix, some of you might not know, he's an international stallion. He's a leading broodmare sire over in France. He's a great stallion, and obviously he's doing the job here with the blood cross. He's got a full brother that's a 3-time winner there, and that Rockerford actually placed on debut as a 2-year-old there in Sydney. So he's going to go on. He's actually got quite a bit of ability. So there'll be another winner added to this page very soon. But deep down the page, you can see there's a sire there on the page in Saki, Group 1 winner. You love to see a Group 1 winner on the page, and it's a deep international family. It's a lovely page. It's across that works, and yeah, he's got a lot going for him, this colt, and I think you've buying into a colt with a pedigree, and he's a lovely type, and I don't think we'll have to wait too long to see him get up and go.
Well done. He, of course, has arrived at Aristia Park along with the other 5 purchases for our Victorian and New South Wales team, Ash. So you'll be having a day out there for everyone to come see him in the flesh soon. He is 16,825 for 5%. A terrific colt, Ash. Let's rip into some value. So, some of these horses you bought for around that $10,000 for 5% share were absolute rippers, and you're going to start with probably my favourite.
Yeah, we'll go from one colt back to another filly, Tim, and she's one of my favourites too. It was love at first light. We love that saying, but it was with this filly, and she's the Deep Field filly that we bought with Gay Waterhouse and Adrian Bott, who know this family very well. We'll show you why very soon, but she's just gorgeous, this filly. She had, watching her walk here is the first thing that I noticed about her was the way she moved. And the first thing I loved about her is the way she got along. She had a lovely big stride on her. She does it very easily. Look at the way she stretches out there with her 4 legs and propels herself forward from behind. She's got a great action on her. Another thing I loved about her, Tim, is she's out of a LONHRO mare. We love Deep Field, don't get me wrong. He's a well-proven stallion. His service fee shot up to 88,000 last year. He holds a record for the number of winners in a season. So he's a tremendous stallion. He gets a lot of winners at the highest level, and she's certainly got plenty of attributes from him, but she's certainly got a lot of attributes from her broodmare sire in LONHRO. She's got what I call the LONHRO look, down to her coat colouring and the way she's built, but she's what I call a scopy filly. She's quite lengthy. She is not your August foal, even though she's a September foal. Tim, correct me if I'm wrong, but she's not one that's going to be ready to go the races tomorrow, but in 6 months' time, you're going to see a completely different filly. She's got the frame there. She's going to grow into it. She's a really beautiful deep girth on her, which I love as well. So she's just gorgeous. She had a lot of quality. And if I describe one thing about her, she's very athletic filly. So we'll show her pedigree soon, but yeah, she is a beautiful filly, and I think we definitely got her at half price.
Yeah, well done. I couldn't agree more. Just one of the nicest horses on type in the sale. The way we approach Magic Millions, Ash, they used to go A to Z in their barns to about 26. They go to A to Z now. Then they start back at Q. They go QA, QB. They're up to about 35 barns. So you pound the pavement out there. You go and look at every horse. I remember specifically when we saw this horse, we were standing at one end of the barn. We were looking at a couple of horses in front of us that didn't tickle our fancy. This filly was about 50 metres away down to our left, and both you and I were just locked eyes on her and just stared at her. And you turned to me and said, "What is that?" And both of us just effectively ran over to the farm, said, "Get that filly out that you just had out." And this was the filly they paraded for us. She was a knockout, Ash. But the thing that I can't get past is Ashley bought a filly off Ashley Thoroughbreds.
Yeah, the no association, I promise you, no bias there. There's another farm that we went to when we visited the Hunter Valley as well. A beautiful little farm, only a small boutique property, but again, we like to buy off farms that have got proven results, and they produce Captivant to win a Group 1 as a 2-year-old. Obviously a very good horse. He ran in a Cox Plate last year as well. So a lovely farm, getting results, and horses get real one-on-one attention. They're not overly prepped. They present very well and quite raw and natural, and I love that about this farm. So there's no bias in the name, I promise you that, but it is well named and it's spelt the right way.
Very unusual. So as you pop the pedigree up on screen for us, couple of things about this filly that I like about her pedigree, Ash, is firstly, the mare's got a 3-time winner by shooting to win. So you can see it on the page there. It only reads as a 1-time winner. It's now a 3-time winner. And you tell me a bit about Twiglet. The Grand Dam is one of the best blue hens in the stud book. You look at that black type down the page, Fairy King Prawn, almost the greatest Hong Kong horse of the last 25 years. And of course, Cosmic Endeavour. Like, this is just, if this filly can run, Ash, like, she is just from an outstanding family.
Yeah, it's a pedigree upgrade to the mare. My goodness, obviously by LONHRO, he's proving himself to be a great broodmare sire himself. And yeah, that page is very deep. You know, and if the fillies out of that family as well are producing stakes winners, you can see there, Pimpinella, the dam of Anise, Dora Ma, the dam of Mrs. Kipling, is the dam of See Me Exceed, Sasha Royale, the dam of Anna Royale. So it's a real filly producing family, and Cosmic Endeavour, obviously trained by Gay and Adrian. She was a star of their stable there at Tulloch Lodge. She's by Northern Meteor, and as you see up here, Deep Field's by Northern Meteor. So it makes this filly very closely related to her. So it's a really great cross, and you can't quite see it on the page, but there is a double cross there of another blue hen in 8 carat, who's the dam of Octagonal, both Deep Field and My Goodness's family. So it's a really deep page, and she can win some black type, this filly, and with Gay and Adrian, we know she'll get every chance to do that. She'll be a very valuable filly, and hopefully we're laughing in a few years' time when she moves on to the next phase of her career as a broodmare. But she's a beautiful filly and got a lot of quality and a nice page behind her.
Well done. She's just a tick over $10,140, Ash, for 5% in her. I think you've got about 20% left. She was the first horse you bought at the sales, so naturally has been very popular. The second horse you bought at the sales, of course, was the SNITZEL Colt. Now, this is just another one, Ash, that felt to me like it got under people's guards a little bit. It was buried out in the back barn there. An older mare, and we'll talk about that shortly, but again, it's a mare that's already produced a Group 2. She's a Group 2 winner herself, and high-quality colt.
SNITZEL, like not a single doubt, he needs little introduction. He's a champion sire, 3 times champion sire, actually, Tim, and he had yet again amazing results across the race day on Saturday there at the Gold Coast in Australia. Another 2-year-old winner in as well on Saturday. So he's a phenomenal stallion. They're very hard to buy, and I was scratching my head how we're able to get him for this price. But we've already spoken about how some people can, turn their eyes down at November foals. He's a great example, Tim. He's a 30th of November foal, but I love that. I love that he is. And what you see is he's just going to grow into a really nice horse in 6 months' time. He looks quite backward here. You can see that. But to me, he just looked like your typical SNITZEL. He looked very racy, very sharp and speedy, sprinting type. He had good length about him, and he had good scope about him. He moved well. He moved like a sprinter, and he had a lovely head on him as well. So, yeah, I loved this colt. I'm surprised we got him for the price we did. But he's bred off Barrymore Stud, obviously owned by Jerry Harvey. Jerry Harvey is kind enough to stay in the ownership as well. So he obviously thought a bit of this colt. And yeah, even though he's a November foal, like Coolangatta, like Animo, he still looks an early type, and he's going to be given that chance. I think in 6 months' time, you're going to be very surprised with what you see.
One of the, we listen to a lot of smart, well, I do, Ash. I listen to a lot of smart people in racing. You're one of them. Paul Wiltz is the other. I said to him once, so this is obviously a later foal from the mare, Ash. I think it's the 13th living foal from the mare. I said, does it worry you, Paul? Does it worry you that the mare's getting a little bit older? He goes, Tim, only the good producers get that old. Only the best mares have 13 foals. Why would it worry me? It is a positive. She's proven she's good at what she can do. And I just kind of suck it up and accept that this is bang on point, you know. Like, she's had 4 stakes horses. She's had a Group 2 winner. Crystal Lily was the 12th foal. Matt Eldon was the next person I said, oh, does it worry you if the mare's been around a few times? Absolutely not. Crystal Lily won a Golden Slipper. She was foal number 12. So, you know, Magic Millions is a sale where people just want to gravitate to the new. They want to gravitate to the unknown and the sexy. Look at this. One dam fills the page, Ash. Like, that's how good a job Mum's done. You don't even know who the second dam is. Well,
she just makes it, but she's a good dam. She's a good dam. She's, of course, the dam of Princess Coop. So there you go. Yep, Mum's a half sister to Princess Coop. She's a star. Look at what she's done. 9 winners there. 4 of those stakes performers: Sovereign Nation Stakes winner, Group 2 winner, Group 1 place sprinter, multiple Group 1 performed. He second in the Toorak. He was 4th in the Caulfield Guineas. So he was a very talented horse. You've got the full sister to this colt too, was a very, very sharp 2-year-old for Lizzie. She was a very sharp pre-Christmas 2-year-old, running 3rd in the Widden Stakes there, and then 4th in the Magic Night Stakes, which is a lead-up race to the Golden Slipper. So that's the full sister. We know that cross works. So this boy's a full brother to that, and he looks like he's going to hopefully follow in her footsteps. We saw a daughter of Houston Benefactor Tim that we really liked. She made $725,000. She was the 6th foal out of that mare. So it's obviously a very well-respected family to see rather progeny coming out of another half sister to this colt make what it did at this sale only just before this colt went through. So that's as nice a page as you'll see, and there's no reason to think the mare can't do it again. Namaka, we've got in the stable. He's from a very similar page, and you know, he's a very talented horse that we think is going to go on to win some really good races for us. He already has. He's a Flemington winner, so similar style process we went into to find him, and yeah, we see it time and time again. And look at the list of SNITZEL there. He's not just a stallion of Group 1 winners. He's a stallion of stallions: Invader, Russian Revolution, Seamus Award, Trapeze Artist. Yeah, phenomenal stallion. It's a great cross. It's the same cross as Wanjana and Dances on Star, Last Tycoon, not just the full sister to Lizzie, but it's been proven before. So still scratching my head, but we're happy to take him for what we got.
Still scratching your head because I said take 60 seconds. You've just gone for about 6 minutes. So you clearly haven't quite figured out how you got lucky enough to get this horse. But Ash, the way you talk about him, your knowledge is incredible, but the way you talk about him, I'm with you. I don't know how you got him for the price you did. Has SNITZEL got one more stallion left in him, Ash? Is it this guy?
Hopefully.
All right, he's $10,205 for 5%. All these horses tonight, all these share prices we talk about, they're on the website, they're in the mail out. Share price, of course, includes Magic Millions race series for the entire length of these horses, career, insurance, etc., etc. So exciting, Ash. You've got 2 to go. The last horse for Victoria, last but not least, is by sire we've grown to know over our journey.
Yeah, he's by LONHRO, of course. Who is he the sire of, Tim?
The great mare, Aristia.
That's it.
Named the farm after it. Unborn children, everything. She's the greatest racehorse we've ever had. And what I love about this horse, Ash, I'm stealing your momentum. He actually got the same colour as Aristia. Most Londos are that dark black colour. Doesn't throw many bay brown horses. He's thrown this year, and he's done it again.
He does. He throws plenty of them. Plenty good ones. Look, Aristia is one of them, but there's plenty more. Piero was a plain bay, impending, bounding, bearded, mental. I know LONHRO well, obviously, having been lucky enough to work for Godolphin over the many years. So I've seen plenty of them that have been shaped like this colt, and there was a lot to like about him. He was what I call quite unassuming. He moves well. You can see that here. That's quite obvious. He's got lovely balance to him, though. He's really well grown for his age and his sale. He looks reasonably forward for a LONHRO colt, but he's a beautiful mover. He's got great bone underneath him as well. Very clean boned horse. He's got a smart head on him, great scope as well, big girth on him. I really loved that. And you can see here he's got his ears forward and just getting on with the job. So he might not be no supermodel, but to me he looks like a tough, really tough and robust style of horse, and he's got great balance about him. And yeah, look, he might not be the pitch black color of Lonhro's sire, and you know, those ones tend to really stand out at these sales. Everyone loves them, you know, and they're really pretty black, deep black coloring, and they're the ones that make, you know, a lot more money than this guy. But yeah, as I just said, there's been plenty of sons and daughters of Lonhro look a lot like this guy, and I think he was really good value, this colt, out of a really talented mare, our Cedar. Really good race mare on the track. A little bit different to the others, Tim. He is the second foal out of the mare, but we obviously did our research into the family. She's got a good one on the ground that trialled quite impressively before Christmas. So, and she of course is by Commands. It's a well-proven cross with Lonhro that's worked very well. So I think looking at the average of the sale, we love the sire. We know the sire well. He continually produces top-class horses. So I think he's another really good value colt to add to the team.
And as you bring up his pedigree, we talked about obviously the SNITZEL colt and the not a singled out colt. They're older. This is the second foal. Obviously, that they were kind of later foals, so the family's more proven. And what I like here is that Mum's already got a horse that's gone really well in a jump out, and Mum was just a good mare. Like, to win 300,000 Ash, to win 3 races in a row, to win 5 races in total. The way a pedigree works, if you're looking up the top here, Ash, you only get races that you perform in at metropolitan level or stakes level listed on your pedigree. Look how many times she went to the dance and performed. Like, she obviously won 5. There's about 12 metropolitan wins and top 3 placings there. Like, she was just so tough. We've got to know Guy Mulcaster over the journey really well, the man that bought Winx as a yearling. We said to him, well, you know, what did you love about Winx's pedigree? He said because her mum, Vegas Showgirl, actually went to the races about 50 times. He said she was so tough. And he loved the thought of Vegas Showgirl putting that into Winx as a mare. And as we saw with Winx, she was so tough. She just rocked up every carnival, went and got it done. You know, talents, everyone wants talent and turn a foot. But toughness and durability and being sound is so important in a racehorse. So I think this is a mare on the rise, Ash, and looks under the odds.
Yeah, absolutely. The first foal out of her, Boom Cedar, ran second in a Sydney trial recently. Second, very strongly held. It was a really beautiful trial. They gapped the rest of the field. So, you know, she clearly can throw a horse that can run. She was $170,000 yearling too, Boom Cedar. So, you know, obviously well respected by the market. Second dam was a 2-year-old Sydney City winner. She didn't just win in the bush. She won in Sydney. She's produced 6 winners, and you've got Magic Albert down the page. It's what I call a really speedy colonial family, Australian speed family. Go the knuckle. He was a gun sprinter as well. So there's good speed in the family there, and you've got Commands and Grand Lodge, and yeah, it's a lovely page and a lovely colt, and the cross there has worked many times before, not just Lonhro and Commands, but out of Dane Hill Mares is the best cross for Lonhro. So yeah, it ticked a lot of boxes for us, and yeah, he's a really lovely colt. I'm excited to have on our team.
Even I see Dead Magic down the bottom of the page there. The first yearling out of Dead Magic sold at Magic Millions last year for $950,000. I remember that horse really well, Ash. So $9,000 for this Lonhro colt. He looks terrific value. He's another one like the 5 we've just mentioned. Now arrived safe and sound at Aristia Park. You're going to touch on it shortly, what you've heard about them from Marnie Holloway in the past 7 days since they arrived. But there'll be opportunities over the next month to get out and see these babies before they start their breaking education, Ash. And of course, if you want to come out and spend some time with you one-on-one and have a look at these yearlings in the paddock with yourself, Belinda, any one of the team, everyone is of course welcome. We're only ever a phone call away. And more exciting than that, if you want to do it with me, come up to Queensland and see Lucky Last, who could well be my favourite, Ash.
Close to being my favourite too. We'll show her in a second. She's of course the rich enough filly, Tim. Lucky Last at the sale, the first and only purchase we got out of the Book 2 session of the sale. We've obviously found a good one out of there. His name is Stuttering. He bought him for pretty much the same price as this filly. I just fell in love with her straight away. She's by Rich Enough. He's a son of Written Tycoon. Really good page behind her. Mum's a 100% producer of winners, but it was all about the filly here for me. She was all business. She had the most professional attitude out of all of them. She just got out there, got on with the job. She walked around like a 5-year-old gelding that had been there and done it all before. She didn't turn a hair. She didn't complain about anything. And I love the way she moved. You can see just looking at her here, the handle's quite tall, so she's a good size. She's got great depth to her. She's really well balanced all over from head to toe. She's nice and correct. You can see the front on footage and just all business, walking along, getting on with the job, and that's going to carry her a long way, particularly if you want something getting up and going early. And physically, she looks that style of horse, being how well grown and balanced she is. She's not going to take too long to come to hand, but I loved everything about this filly. She ticked every box for me. Stallion's doing the job. His two best are two very good 2-year-old fillies, one in Melbourne, one in Queensland. Dosh, who won a Blue Diamond Preview. She's a very, very speedy, very talented filly down there for Graham Begg in Melbourne, and a good filly up here in Plutocrat, who was a debut 2-year-old winner at city level as well. And Timmy's got another very talented one up on the Sunshine Coast in your neck of the woods. Orbison with David Van Dyke. He's unbeaten. He's won 4 out of 4. So he's a good stallion. He's a young stallion, but he's doing the job, and from a smaller farm. So he doesn't quite get the same opportunities as the not as singled outs and the SNITZELs. So he's doing a good job with probably not as great mares. He's obviously gotten a good mare here off the back of his early success in Transonic. She's had 3 to race, all winners, and they've all won more than once, Tim. They've won multiple times, and 2 of those are by Written Tycoon, making this filly a 3/4 in blood to them. So she's a beautiful filly. A little bit jealous that she's staying up in Queensland. I wish she was coming back down to Melbourne, but she's the right filly. She's cutest, of course, and that makes her, eligible for some very valuable bonuses up here in the Sunshine State.
Look at her head. Who wouldn't love her? Like, she's just got those most fantastic markings, Ash. I know everything you said there was all about what an impressive physical type she is, how athletic she is, all of that. Forget all of that. On race day, you're going to want to own the one with the big blaze on its head as it comes flying down the straight at Eagle Farm. Like, you'll be so proud to call that filly your own, Ash. She's gorgeous. Wayne Gadd asked a question for you about what does it mean to say it's got good bone? So explain to us what good bone is.
Good bone is obviously their knees and fetlock joints under their body. You like to see them carry the same. They're nicely balanced with what's on top. If they got a big body on them, you want enough bone underneath to be able to carry what's on top. So you don't want their bones to be too fine and look too fragile looking. So it's all about balance and good clean bone as well. So we like to see a horse where we can see the tendon fibers, we can see the bones. The skin just covering the bones. We don't want to see any puffiness and a little bit of swelling or anything like that. So good clean tendons, good clean bone, and good balance with what they're carrying on top. If hopefully that explains it well. But that's what we mean by a horse that has good bone about them.
I wasn't even listening. I'm just looking at this photo. Look at the head on it. She's just a gorgeous filly. She's $5,685, Ash, for 5%, as you said. Are you going to show her pedigree? Or are you going to cycle through some?
Yeah. No, I'll show some more photos too. But yep, I'm bringing her pedigree up now for you all.
Yeah, well done. As you said, like, Mum's just doing the job. She's producing winners. Racing's a pretty simple game at time, Ash. We've talked about it all through this call. Rich Enoug's doing the job. Orbison could be the next big Queensland horse. Like, obviously, Rothfire took all before him as a younger horse. There's a gap in the market up here for the new superstar. I reckon it could be Orbison. If you don't know this horse, if you're a southerner that isn't familiar with Orbison, go watch his replays. He's won 4 races by about 100 lengths. He will be a proper Melbourne spring horse this year. But again, Ash, you've shown these pedigrees all night. What you're trying to do with these Magic Million horses is go with what works. It sounds as uncomplicated as you could imagine, but this was your strategy heading into the sale. And I think what you told people you wanted to do at the start has been reiterated by every pedigree that we have seen here. And again, Mum's had 3 foals to race for 3 winners.
Yep, same cross as Rich Hips too, Written Tycoon over Flying Spur, if you like to see. So it's another box added another tick box added there. Yeah, Mum she was a really good racehorse. She was Group 2 place. She ran third in the Wakeful Stakes.
Tough to win the Wakeful.
Sorry?
Tough to win the Wakeful.
It is. We know that race well, and third in the Ethereal as well. So she was obviously a very talented mare on the track. Had a bit of scope about her too. Obviously winning up to 1900, so she's going to put some good. She's put some good stamina into her progeny, as we can see there. The 2 3/4 relations have gotten up beyond the mile, so it gives us, our filly, a bit of scope as well, and got a Group 1 winner, a Group 1 place getter there in the second dam, and good speed there. It was a winner at 2 as well. So it's an international page further down, but as we can see, Mum's doing the job, and that's what we want to see through the race. All winners, you can't go wrong there, and they've won more than once too. So quite current, all within the last 12 months.
Well done. 5,500 for 5%. I think she's about half done. She's really been popular. We're getting more inquiries on her probably than any other horse at the moment, and it's not hard to see why, Ash. So a great summary of the 6 of them. Magic Millions, it feels like forever ago. It was kind of 5-6 days ago. How are they going since?
Going great. I'm showing some photos here of the Rich Enough filly who settled into Calora Lodge in Queensland. They took these photos of her. She settled in great. No surprise there. She, as I've said before, a beautiful nature to her. So she's going to enjoy a nice month off before we get her broken in and into Rob Heathcote's system, hopefully being the next stuttering for the team. The other 5, have all arrived safely down at Aristia Park. They're at Kui Rup. I've checked in with Marnie, and they've all settled in super. She said the SNITZEL colt, super easy to deal with. He's settled in great. Not a single doubt. Philly is an absolute sweetheart. No surprises there. Not a single doubt. Colt is bouncing out of his skin. He's feeling very fresh, and certainly throwing his size and imposing looks around, which is, he's feeling well and coming out of the sale. LONHRO colt, not phased by anything. He doesn't seem to care too much. He's very relaxed, and he's settled in straight away. So they've all done really well. We look forward to showing them all to anyone who wants to come and see them. I know we've got a few people coming out early next week. So they'll all enjoy, Tim, a nice little break from the sale. We don't like to break them in straight away. It's a stressful process. The big sale like the Magic Millions, it's a hot week at the Gold Coast. We talk about attitude, and we love yearlings that handle the sale well, because it is a highly stressful environment, the Magic Millions. Got the sounds of the auctioneers, got people everywhere. It's hot, it's sweaty, it's humid. So we like to give them a nice little break in the paddock just to be horses for a good month off, and then they'll all head to the breakers, Tim, and start their education from there. They'll be in and out for the first 6 months of their career, just learning the ropes of the stables. They won't be asked to do too much, but come August, September, later in the year, we'll certainly start to see who's going to be up and firing early for us at the early 2-year-old trials. So that'll be the plan for them going forward.
All right, that is an outstanding summary. 30 seconds to go. I'm going to give you one final question. You've had a great summer. I've had a great summer. The wife's happy. My kids are happy. The sun's shining. The Aussies won the cricket. The tennis is on. And my wife said I can buy one share. Money's irrelevant. I only buy one share. Which one am I buying?
I hate it when you do this to me. It's not fair. I would probably go this. Go to SNITZEL colt. I'm just going to say that. But I would be happy if you bought a share in either one of them, Tim.
Sorry, I'm not sure if you froze for me or you froze for everyone. Can you just repeat the answer?
Oh, I said the SNITZEL colt. There you go.
Okay. Well done. Good girl. All right. Well, thanks again for everyone for joining us. We promised you 30 minutes. I think we've gone just a tick over 40. We're very proud of, obviously, the quality of horse we've added to the team. Ashley's an absolute guru at what she does. The hard work started when the catalogue came out 3 months ago. Blood, sweat and tears went into these horses, Ash, and now we get to enjoy an incredible journey as we embark on their racing careers in the Bull and Gold. So We'll talk about them until the cows come home, Ash. If you want to come out and see them, if you want to talk about them, any questions you've got out of tonight's webinar, don't hesitate to contact myself or Ashley. And when we win 3 Group 1s in the next 12 months with these babies, Ash, don't say we didn't tell you so, hey?
Yep. I look forward to it. Give us a call anytime. Yep. The shares are getting smaller and smaller by the day. So yeah, they're going to be racing in a blue and gold in 12 months time, which we look forward to.
Terrific. Thanks again. Enjoy your night. Thanks for joining us.